What's that?
Antidote.
To what?
The poison you just drank.
That's right. We watched Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom this week on The Movie Gap, the podcast that has you scream.
How do not see that? 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 How have you not seen that? How have you not seen that? How have you not seen that? Little darling, how have you not seen that?
Welcome to this week's episode of The Movie Gap. I am your host, Chase Austin, and as always, the racial stereotype of a young boy to my left, Bryce Perkins.
What's up, everybody? What's up?
All right. Well, not much, Bryce. We are here to, of course, talk about another movie that you have just seen for the first time. Indiana
Yes.
Jones and the Temple of Doom. This is
It's
a huge
big
one. This is a huge one.
Well, this is one of the ones, part of the entire Indiana Jones trilogy, that when we got the idea of the podcast, immediately, wasn't it kind of the thing that spurred the idea of the podcast?
This
like,
and Die Hard.
You haven't seen Indiana Jones?
And Jaws. Like, there's a lot of them, but like Indiana Jones
Right.
is probably one of the ones that you've gotten that as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Or all the way up
my
through
entire
adulthood.
fucking
Yeah.
life.
So, well, before we
Like,
get into
to the
it,
points where I purposefully avoided it.
because people,
Because people
Like,
kept
you have to see
acting
it.
like that. Yeah.
yeah. So, before we get into it, how's your week been, brother?
It's been good. I have a new fragrance.
Another one?
In the works.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
So right now, let's just go through it here.
Yeah.
I know that you have Dennis Hopper,
yes.
and what is it called?
Essence of Hopper, I believe.
Yeah. Okay.
Was what it was called.
Well, you were still working on it, so I don't know if it was
Working
official
title.
yet.
Yeah.
But there is
so
a
obviously
fragrance.
still working on that one.
So you don't have to commit to the names yet because you haven't officially launched.
Sure.
But there is an Essence of Hopper coming.
I thank you for letting me know that too. I was really kind of stressing about it.
Yeah.
Losing sleep.
Yeah, just
over not having the names yet.
get them perfected.
Yeah.
And like we'll get the gears working.
Yeah. So we had fragrance of Hopper,
Mm-hmm.
odor of Chaz.
Yeah.
That one's based on you, and it's going to be used as a deterrent that you spray on your doors and stuff to keep your dogs from chewing your doors up and stuff like that.
Which is weird because dogs tend to bite me. Been bit by a lot of dogs whose owners are like,
All right,
hold
on. We gotta hold on. I gotta stop the production here. Chase, why wouldn't you tell me that before I start working on the fucking fragrance? Okay. The whole point of it is to keep dogs away. And now you're telling me dogs love biting you?
well, maybe it's a fragrance that is for dog lovers. That the
whole I gotta do so much fucking reworking, dude, because of this fucking shit. You never communicate with me. It's something I always tell you.
At least you haven't officially launched yet. This is part of the working
You're
out the
announcing
case.
it? Just all right. Let's
Let's get back to it. Okay. So
Yeah.
fragrance.
Sorry about that, y'all.
Yeah, the
We're
Hopper
back.
one. And so what is this new one?
The new one we have is the essence of Ford, and it's actually a two-parter.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, it's a three-parter. You got to collect the whole set of this one. We have Harrison's Happy Place, Gerald's Journey, and Henry's Happy Place. So, like I said, working titles. We're like I said, haven't nailed down the titles yet, but
They're all
three-part.
the different Fords.
Yes,
Yeah, I see
all the
that.
different known Fords.
Yeah.
That the only three Fords that everybody knows. So it's a little 3-parter, and that'll be launching soon as well. Once again, it's technically not legal for me to. I shouldn't say not legal. I'm not allowed
because
to,
that implements you. Yeah.
right. I'm not allowed to. I haven't quite worked out the deals with Amazon to get them on the market with Amazon there, but you can order them from us on the website. What was the website again?
Well, I thought you haven't launched it yet.
I didn't launch it yet, but it was. I gotta go back and remember the name of the website, but I remember it ended with .globe.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Levi's fragrance, Levi's colognes, www.leviscolognes.org. So you can check that out.
You're not gonna have an issue with the jean company on that.
All right, hold on. Sorry guys, we gotta take another break here. Chase, what the fuck, man?
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to help.
Again, another thing you could have fucking told me, dude.
Well,
another fucking thing you could have told me.
This is why you should include me before you start making ideas.
I'm about to not include you in any part of my life.
You should
okay?
run things
I'm telling
by
you this
me.
right now. I'm telling you this right now, Chase.
I'm trying to help. I'm just trying to help.
Chase, I am not fucking joking right now, dude. After this fucking episode, we are done.
Seriously, man, you and me, we're fucking done professionally.
Exactly. I'm not going to do another fucking episode with you after we're done recording this one, okay? So how about we just get back on here, play nice, and make it a good one, okay? Make it the best one you've ever fucking done, because that's it!
All right. Sorry.
All right. All right. I'm going to hit play.
All right. Or record.
Record.
You should probably hit record.
I'm going to hit record.
See, this is what I'm trying to help you with.
I'm going to let that one go, because my blood pressure can't handle it. All right. Okay, we're recording.
All right.
We're back.
So we're back.
Hi, Chase.
But you know, that confusion of your website, that does remind me that as good businessmen, we need to be upfront with our plugs.
Okay.
So here's what you need to do, guys, to the avid listener. Go on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook and follow us at The Movie Gap. Go to our YouTube page, The Movie Gap, and subscribe and comment and watch, as well as wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe to the podcast, add it to the playlist or whatever it is on Spotify.
Yeah. You can just start following it.
Yeah,
and it'll
follow
be
it.
a part of one of the things.
That's the word I was looking for.
Yep.
And also comment and rate us on iTunes, all that kind of good stuff. So, that is now out of the way.
Well, but also that being said, we always promise people that if they comment on our stuff, that we might give them a shout out and read their comments on the pod. So we've had a little bit of action. We've had some action from some people.
This is on the YouTube?
No, this is on our Facebook page.
Oh, Facebook, yeah.
I hope he doesn't. Well, I mean, he posted, so it's public. But a loyal listener, Abraham Garza, commented a nice little thing where he did a GIF. He said, "Random thought while watching Pulp Fiction: how much do you think a $5 milkshake would cost in 2020?" And he put a GIF of Uma Thurman drinking her milkshake from Pulp Fiction. That's the kind of shit we like to see, people.
Well,
right?
why
He's
don't
engaging with us.
Yeah, why don't you answer
He's asking us questions.
Because I answered him on Facebook.
Well, Chase answered him, and he said, hard to say, depends on delivery fee and tip as per COVID restrictions closing Jackrabbit Slims.
Yeah.
Very sad. R.I.P. Jackrabbit Slims. Abraham said...
Well, just the interior. They're delivery only right now.
Right. Or curbside. Do they do curbside?
I think they might do curbside.
Okay.
But you still should tip.
Still should absolutely
support
tip.
Local business.
And then Abraham said, I never thought $5 was all that much for a milkshake, especially after he spent all that money on drugs. Classic fucking line, dude. Very good.
I like that.
Very good commenting. And then you responded, I always assumed he would just write it off as a business dinner anyway. I'm sure hitmen are paid contract.
And they're contract killers.
And have to offset those self-employment taxes.
Yeah.
Not a very good joke from Chase on that part. Pretty poor comment, so I apologize to you personally.
Let me just say,
for having him waste your time
in the tax preparer community.
Notice he didn't respond.
100% gold.
No. So comment now. Abraham Garza
on a scale.
Welcome your famous.
That joke on a scale of 1 to 10 is a 10.99.
Come on, Chaz. Come on, Chaz.
No, that should be classic moment.
Very good.
That was so good.
I don't. I'll give it here. I'll give it a classic moment. Just be quiet. Ready?
Piece of shit.
Oh, there you go. Okay. So long.
Anyway,
please
so
cut that one down.
why don't you answer that question? How much do you think?
Oh, let's see. Adjusting for inflation.
I mean, that was
which is
90.
about-
That was 94, which
Hold on, I'm doing some
surprisingly enough, we did
calculations
not mention in the
Please,
last
Chase, will you
episode
be quiet while I
that
do my
Speed came
calculations?
out that year too.
That's true. Adjusting for inflation, which is the equation for that is 0.03% over every 2 weeks. It's been how many weeks since 1994? 1994 minus 2020 is how many years? That's 17 years. 52 weeks. 52 weeks every 2 weeks times 0.03. I think it costs about $5.99. That was so loud.
That was real loud.
And scene. Oh wait, I think I'm getting a call.
Nope.
Do you mind
no,
if I
you're
answer
not.
it?
Yeah, I do mind. Tell him to just ignore. Call
if I
back
answer
later.
this?
Call back later.
I don't know. It could be anybody
no,
though.
I don't.
I sure would hate to miss it.
All right, Bryce. Moving on.
I'll ignore him just for you.
Yeah, thank you.
So yeah, comment, interact with us, and we'll make you famous. How about that? We'll fucking
yeah.
read your shit. And thank you, Abraham, again.
For listening.
All of that.
And commenting. So, do you want to get right into it, or did you have anything else you needed to add? I mean, we've caught up. You got a new fragrance.
To say that I would like to get into this movie.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. This is the second of the trilogy. Chronologically, it is the first. What did you know about this movie going in, and why hadn't you seen it? I can guess a couple of the reasons why you hadn't seen it. One, because people had told you needed to see it so much that you decided not to.
Uh-huh.
And even before that, one of the main reasons we realized that you had never originally gotten into the Indiana Jones trilogy before, or quadrilogy, is because you don't like movies about digging.
Or just with sand.
Or sand, yeah, sand in general.
Because it just looked boring.
Yeah.
You know? And especially if it's supposed to be like old, like in the olden days.
And paleontology and archaeology.
Yeah, just seemed a little too boring.
Well, he's not a paleontologist. He's an archaeologist.
So the real reason I never watched this one is
dinosaurs.
because I never watched the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't going to watch this one until I watched the first one. Well,
that's interesting because this is a prequel.
Is it?
Yeah.
I did not catch that.
You did not catch that. Yeah. It's because it tells you at the beginning it's 1934 or 35, and the other one was 36 or 34. So whatever it is, this is set in 35, and the first movie, Raiders of the Lost Ark. I'm sorry, Raiders of the Lost Ark is set in 1935, and this is set in 1934.
Okay,
so
I see.
It is
so a year before
prequel.
He did his crazy zany adventures
with
in the desert and all that. He was doing crazy zany shit in India.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's cool. It's good to know that
Hong Kong. And
he was
everywhere
always
else.
doing crazy shit like this. That's why they call him Indy. You know, that's why they call him Indiana Jones.
We'll wait till the third one. You'll actually find out
why they call him Indiana Jones. So I imagine it's because his mother named him that.
Yeah, that's a good guess.
Yeah, okay,
that's a pretty spot on.
Pretty spot on. Okay.
Before we get into, I'll explain more about the prequel thing. But yeah, so you wanted to see the first one first.
Yeah.
And then this one.
Yeah.
Was there any other reason?
I mean, no, not really. It just if I hadn't begun the trilogy when I was a kid,
so
why would I just jump in on the second one? You know what I mean?
That makes sense, especially since most people, it seems, I don't know, maybe not, but that is something that people don't really realize, that this is technically a prequel.
I mean, I was surprised to find that out, and I watched it.
Yeah.
The whole thing without realizing.
It doesn't really matter.
I was confused Wait, so then what?
What happens to Short Round?
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
He just ditched that fucking kid.
But also,
With not even with it, like a year's time. It was like he got done with that adventure and was like,
yeah,
all right, I'll see you later, kid. Bye. And then he was homeless again.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
But so
asshole.
All right, well, we'll get right into that. But I want to say, what did you know about this movie going in?
Oh, I had seen the opening scene before.
Oh, in the Club Obi-Wan?
Yeah. So which of course, and throw the Obi-Wan in there. So I knew that they were really kind of pulling out all the stops for the sequel to make it like bigger. They were like, how about we open this one up in a dance club? And it's like, action right away.
Action set piece,
Yeah. And
which, so did the first one.
Uh-huh.
It was the part with Alfred Molina.
But this one is like is gonna be flashy and, totally Lucas and Spielberg, Harrison Ford, or I should say Indiana Jones, was costumed in, Harrison Ford was costumed in, Indiana Jones was wearing the same fucking suit that the Beatles wore in the movie Magical Mystery Tour during the bit for Your Mother Should Know. Oh. And that's one for the Beatle heads out there.
There you go.
For the Beatle Files. That sounds way too close to the bad thing.
Well, Beatle Files, Cinephile, they're all.
But Beatle Files rhymes with pedophile.
Well, but who says pedophile? British people?
British people, yeah. And they're British.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's true.
So yeah, for the Beatles fans out there, that was a little tidbit for them. Which I just thought was interesting, and I wonder if that was kind of done on purpose.
I don't know. I have not done the research on
Your
that.
Mother Should Know, highly underrated bit of songwriting from Paul McCartney there. It gets kind of written off as Paul's granny shit, as the fans call it endearingly, but it's actually a very good tune, much like most of his granny shit.
Well, when you write as many great songs as he does, a lot of them are not the best. They can't all be his best, obviously.
And but that one's just a little underrated. It's actually a really great song and great recording. Yeah. But Paul knows that. So anyway, yeah.
All right, well, let's get into it before we...
So I knew all that. Oh, and I knew Short Round was in it. And so I was bracing myself for that. So
before we start diving totally in, since you didn't know it was a prequel, and I just told you that, one of the reasons that it was made a prequel is that Lucas did not want to make the Nazis the bad guy again. Like, he wanted to have a different bad guy, and for some reason, him and Spielberg got it in their head that once it's World War II time, there can't be any other villains during World War II time.
So they went back.
One. Another reason is...
What about the Italians?
Another reason that I've heard is... Well, but that's still...
Or any of the Axis powers.
Yeah, and they just assumed, I guess, that it would have to be Nazis.
Sure.
So, and it doesn't
It's gotta be Nazis.
But you're right. There could have been all sorts of different things.
Right.
But, or they could have just been doing something somewhere where there was this... ancient cult that has nothing to do with World War II.
Or or anything.
So, but they didn't. So that was one reason.
Traveled to a truly undiscovered land and not gone to India and have them film it as if it was some undiscovered land, It's kind of like, wait, they're in India. They're acting like it's this exotic place no one's ever heard of. And it's
they knew.
It's fucking India, dude.
They knew that those people existed. They were just, off the grid, if you will.
What? In the 20s, in the 30s, India was off the grid. They'd already had their fucking...
No, I mean,
they were in the middle of their fucking Gandhi stuff.
Yeah, but those people weren't hidden. It wasn't a hidden village.
Well, no, I know. I'm just saying they kind of portrayed it as if it was a little bit.
I guess
it was a little bit. I mean, it was a little bit 80s.
The part that was definitely hidden was the thuggy cult.
Right.
Obviously, that was a secret.
Sure.
Even to everyone
that's
else.
Fine. They can have their secret cults everywhere.
But yeah, that was one reason, and another reason was that Spielberg did not want to have Indiana Jones be cheating on Marion. So like he considered them together after the first one. However, in the third one, Marion's not in it, and he's not cheating on her. They're just not together. And it was always
spoilers.
Yeah. So it was always Lucas's idea
That's our last
that there would be
episode
a different woman in every one, like Bond. Because when he made this up, it was a very he liked the old serials.
Oh yeah.
And he wanted to make
what kind of
character.
serials? We're talking Smacks.
No,
We're
not
talking.
Smacks. We're talking.
They didn't have Frosted Flakes yet. You
No.
think it was Golden
It was all. What do you call it? Wheat Thins,
Ooh,
but not the sugared ones. Not the frosted.
Oof, that's rough.
Yeah, not the
That's
frosted
rough,
mini wheats.
but I'm sure
we're
that
talking
was
Wheat Thins. We're talking the whole.
Yeah.
Wait, no, Wheat Thins are the. We're talking frosted.
Oh yeah, frosted
Shredded wheat.
shredded mini wheats.
No, this is not shredded.
Oh,
mini
it was
wheat.
just shredded
This is the shredded
wheat.
wheat, like where you get that brick.
Oh yeah,
You have to like break it in half.
that shit was a
It's awful.
delicacy back then. I'm sure.
Yeah. But anyway, no, he wanted it to be like a character. His envision of this character was that there was going to be many of these movies, more than they even are, and it would be played by different people.
It would be an American
Like,
Bond.
The character is iconic, not
Gotcha.
not like
the actor.
not how it became.
Well, why
you know.
don't they just do that?
Well, because now it's too late. Now
It's
it is.
fucking
It
not.
is so
No, it is
Harrison Ford. I think it very much is. You know, it is
I mean,
very much Harrison Ford.
Well, here's the thing.
and it was.
They could reboot it and then start doing that.
And you know, I'm
If
sure
it does
it's-
well enough.
You know, who knows?
I'm sure
if
they
will,
talked
but
about
they've been trying.
Dude, if I was Lucas, I would sell the rights.
yeah, they've
just
been
cash
trying for
the
a long
fuck
time.
in,
Well, he
dude.
doesn't need any money.
But
He's
why
got
not, though?
He's got all the money in the world that he could ever possibly spend,
He's got a
and
lot
he
of
keeps
money.
making it. You know, so.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, so Lucas, you know, envisioned like a lot of different people playing it. It was going to be you know, an adventure version of Bond.
Right.
Basically, where
Right,
you know
right.
the character, you know, so a guy would play it for a couple of times and then move on. But yeah, so that's the reason they made it a prequel. Was they didn't want the Nazis and he wanted to have a new girl, and so that being said, that brings us to the beginning of the film. So what do you think? What do you got
I mean,
going
I thought it started off with a bang. It was cool. Actually, that was one of my comments. Wow, this has way more of a James Bond feel at first with that opening scene.
Mhm.
You know, you just drank poison.
I love that opening scene. There's so much setup,
yeah,
like and then it's well choreographed. Where you know there's
a lot of
the
fun.
person going after the diamond, there's the person going after the antidote, there's the guys shooting at them, they're trying to get out. Like there's a lot going on, and it's fun to watch.
Here, hold on.
And his little friend gets killed. That's sad.
Yeah. It was fun. Sorry, I got a text from my boss about what time I came in at a certain day, so she's setting my time card. I need to make sure I get paid.
Yep, that's important.
But anyway, I mean, the opening scene was fun. Unfortunately, at the end of it, you're immediately met with what I call the bane of this movie, aka short round. And it was all downhill from there, my friend.
Oh man, I love Short Round. He's so cute.
Look, dude, you saw it as a kid. If
And
I was
he's
a
so
kid,
funny.
seeing it, it's fine. I just don't. Can we talk about this for a second?
Okay, yeah. Go
Maybe
for it.
we already have. So out there, if you're listening, shout at the radio or whatever you're listening to. Go. You already talked about this. Stop right now. Stop. And then I will. Okay, I promise I will hear you. But here's the thing: why the fuck can't Spielberg and Lucas just not put a fucking kid or kid adjacent or kid friendly character in their fucking movies, dude?
They didn't. What other movies have they done that in?
Let's name them. A New Hope.
What? Okay, wait.
Empire Strikes Back.
In
We're going
what
with
movies,
Lucas.
in what kid or kid adjacent characters are in A New Hope?
R2D2. C3PO.
Not
which
kid
I love
adjacent
them.
at all.
They totally are supposed to be the
No.
fucking like the goofy sidekick and the comedic relief. You got Chewbacca, you know, and then it gets even worse as you go on because you got the fucking Ewoks.
The
All
Ewoks
right.
are
and the Jawas. You know, I mean,
Jawas never have anything like that.
But then let's go with Spielberg, okay? The monkey in fucking
he was
Indiana
in
Jones.
one scene and he dies.
Short round in this fucking movie. Jurassic Park. 2 children. I understand they were in the book. I understand.
Yeah, I will give you that. They're pretty annoying in that.
The Lost World. There's all of a sudden Jeff Goldblum as a kid. Again, probably in the book. I don't fucking care. It's not necessary. All it does is just force complications. That's it. Like, all of that shit would not be a problem if there weren't kids around.
It is weird.
Which I understand it doesn't make a good movie or whatever.
Well, maybe.
But it's just,
it
but
does,
short round, dude,
they
where
do
he's
explain,
just doing one-liners. Like,
they do explain why he has him there. Like, it would be weirder if it was just like, nobody ever said, why are you carrying this fucking kid around? He is like 6 years old.
Yeah.
You should not be putting this child in danger. Yeah, but you just have to go with it because it's part of it.
I mean, I get that it like brings in a whole nother audience and they make a lot more money and then it's fun and adventurous. That's the point of it and everything.
And this is the weird thing about this movie.
I don't need the kiddie shit.
The weird thing about this movie...
Wait, let me explain this real quick. Part of the evolution of my annoyance about this sort of thing.
Okay.
So when I was a kid watching that kind of stuff, like when I was a kid, I watched Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
I loved Star Wars and they had I loved the Ewoks when I was a kid. Right? Because I'm a fucking kid. I love the Ewoks. And so I tell my dad when we're watching, oh man, the Ewoks, they're so cute and they're fun. Or they're hilarious. I thought they did hilarious shit, because they did, right? And then my dad would go, oh, the Ewoks, oh yeah, of course, the Ewoks. I hate the Ewoks. And he was like he was a little bit older than I am now, right? And I remember being a kid and going, what? How could you not like the Ewoks, They're gold, Dad. They're gold. I went full Seinfeld on him, okay? With the how do you not like the Ewoks thing. And he's like, I know. Fucking turns out, maybe it's in my blood.
Maybe.
But as soon as I grew up and started watching shit like that, I can't stand the fucking little kid comedic relief bullshit. I can't stand it.
I remember... Okay, so there's 2 parts of me with this. Obviously, I have a huge affinity to this movie from watching it as a child. This was my favorite Indiana Jones movie when I was, I don't know, 5 to 10, 15, whatever, when I was watching these, or 5 to 10 or so, when I was watching them over and over and over again. This was my favorite one. Mm-hmm. And watching it again, knowing, like, I think my favorite one is the first one, but then I watched the third one, and the third one's really got some great lines in it, but it's still not quite what the first one was. But I do love the third one. And but the first one and the third one are not as simple, straightforward action stories as this one is. Like, there's more plot, and it's less like, this is what watching it this time, it's sort of cartoony with consequence. Like, the violence and stuff in this movie is cartoony, but there's still real consequence to it. This is a pretty dark movie, and everything that I was reading on it, Lucas and Spielberg both consider this like too dark, and Spielberg even says that he wishes he kind of didn't do it. Like,
this one?
Yeah. He thinks it's too dark and just real, like, bad, mean, evil stuff going on, and he and Lucas both equate the fact that it is what it is because they wrote it. Lucas wrote it, and Spielberg was directing it. They were both going through some pretty rough divorces. Oh, so like, really? They were in a dark place.
Yeah, Divorce Bros. That should be a movie.
Yeah.
That should be a movie.
That should be a movie.
Steven Spielberg and George Lucas going through their divorces.
Yeah.
We'll pitch that. We'll put something together and pitch it.
They
when they did
so
like
it was real
things.
Dark.
They hit
Spielberg,
the town.
Yeah, Spielberg has said that he wasn't happy with Temple of Doom at all. It was too dark, too subterranean.
He did direct it, right?
Yes.
And did Lucas write it?
He's one of the writers on it, creator, story
with
by
Spielberg?
Yeah. I don't know if he got the full writing credit for it.
Well, I don't really care. You don't have
Yeah.
to look it up. It's fine.
But
Nobody listening cares either. So
Willard Huyck got the screenplay. Him and Gloria Katz
yeah.
were the writers on this one. So anyway, but he said it was much too horrific, and he thought it out Poltergeist. He thought it was darker than his Poltergeist, and it did not have an ounce of his own feeling in it. However, I feel like he added a lot of comedy to it.
Spielberg?
Yeah, it's very like it is dark. There is like some creepy stuff, and it's all well done. I really enjoy this movie.
I mean,
But there's a lot of the stuff with the kid, and like the way the kid knocks over 15 guards,
right?
But and like that's why I call it cartoony. But there's consequence. I mean, there is like when people die, they fucking die.
Well, wait, there are so many jokes in this movie.
There's a lot of jokes.
So the fact that he thinks it's like darker than Poltergeist, I mean, because we haven't even talked about really the lady sidekick.
Yeah,
because she's all she is doing.
Oh my God, Willie! I've always hated Willie.
Well, and so here's the thing about Willie is that I feel like from a first time perspective of watching it, I feel like she was clearly written to be annoying.
She was 100% written to be the
anti-Marion. The damsel in distress.
Yeah, it was the opposite of Marion.
But also
the reluctant companion.
Yeah, they wrote her to be high. What do you call that? High maintenance.
Yeah,
all that shit, and kind of made her a little bit of a tropey stereotype of a woman.
I counted it. She screams.
It's a little sexist.
She screams 71 times in this fucking movie.
God damn, every time is worse than the last.
Apparently, she had to learn how to scream to do this movie.
Just don't.
Yeah.
Just don't have the screams. That was terrible to even put that in there.
She is played by Kate Capshaw.
Okay.
Kate Capshaw said that she's always been critical of the character of Willie, saying that she's not much more than a dumb screaming blonde.
Yeah, and that's and she's right. Like, to be fair, like they did no services. The character might as well have not have been there because all it is just one big sexist trope. And I know I'm going 2020 on y'all right now, okay? But it's just is what it is.
Now,
it is what it fucking is, dude.
So going back a little bit, Lawrence Kasdan, he wrote Raiders of the Lost Ark, and he wrote Empire Strikes Back, which Lucas wanted it to be dark. Like Empire Strikes Back is a much darker Star Wars than but he says it got too dark, and he considers it is because he was in a bad mood. But Lawrence Kasdan, he was asked to write the script, and he said, I didn't want to be associated with Temple of Doom. He thought it was horrible and mean and nothing pleasant about it, which, like, I'm watching it, I don't think it's unpleasant or that dark. I mean, it's dark, but like it's
a little more than the original.
It's a lot more fun,
I feel,
which is weird that they consider it so dark.
Yeah.
But the other funny thing is that one thing that Spielberg says about it, he goes, I can't shit on it all the way because in the end, it's where he met his wife, his current wife.
Oh.
Kate Capshaw.
Oh.
He is married to her.
Steven Spielberg is?
Yeah.
Still married to her?
Yeah.
No kidding. Huh.
So, yeah, but they weren't, this is where they met.
Oh, okay.
So isn't that interesting?
Yeah, okay. A little behind the scenes Hollywood love.
I will say that talking about this being funny, I was watching it with my wife. She had not seen it since her American history or world geography teacher showed it to them in like 9th grade or whatever.
You said Carrie?
Yeah. My wife.
Uh-huh.
She was like, oh yeah, the last time I saw this was in 9th grade when my world geography teacher showed it to us. And I was like, why? They're like,
because
it's like,
teacher wanted a day off.
She goes, because he was a coach.
Yeah,
and I was
there
like,
you go.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because like, even of all the Indiana Jones movies, this one is pretty much one location.
Yeah.
And the one time, they do the the now iconic red line map drawing thing, and they show them flying, and like when they're flying on that map, they clearly do not cross the Great Wall of China, and they show you them crossing the Great Wall of China.
Yeah.
Like, so it's not even good for American or for world geography.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the last time.
Not to mention the fact that none of those artifacts or anything there was real at all.
Yeah,
so there's no history
and it's
in it.
not geographically correct, or they're not based on real locations.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, they talk about going to New Delhi, but they don't get there.
That shit, I give that coach Teacher of the Year award because I would totally do that same shit. Fool.
I thought that was great.
It's fucking awesome.
But watching this, especially the scene where they first like get to camp, and Short Round and Indy are playing cards, and they're having their little moment arguing with each other because they're both cheating. You know, and Kate Capshaw Willie is running back and forth, getting frightened by things, and my wife was cackling. She thought it was so funny.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's like, "This works. This
actually,
just works."
man, that shit. I will say this much. Actually, I kind of like immediately started tuning it out because I was like, I don't want to listen to that. But it's just like someone screaming is not a pleasant thing to listen to.
No, it is, and she is blood curdling.
Right, and then it was every 2 seconds a new one and a long one, and yeah, like it was like obviously supposed to be a comedy bit where they just keep acting like, oh, the dumb broad is scared of everything. So funny, right? Short Round, ha 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 ha. And we're all supposed to be laughing. Oh, by the way, every bit of comedy in this joke was written.
This movie
in this movie, felt like it came from the perspective of a total fucking 50-year-old. You know what I mean? Which is what it is.
Yeah.
Right? So there's that. Okay, like everything that's supposed to be funny is something that is only funny to Steven Spielberg and George Lucas in this movie. I felt like it was just like I could see them being like, dude, fuck. Like when they were editing, they were like, "That's gonna be good. That's gonna be a good one." I mean, it's just the cheesiest fucking shit.
There's some stuff that I liked. I liked when Indy's like all cocky. He's like, "Yeah, we got away," and he's like, "See you later, Lao Che." Lao Che, and he shuts the door and it's Lao Che freighting or whatever. I was like, "That's funny,
dude.
I don't care who you are. That's funny." Oops, I hit the button.
It was funny that he like said that, but then you see it gives away. It's not good. It's not good joke writing because it gives away the joke in the setup.
Yeah.
You know,
well, I think that's hilarious.
It's using the punchline in the setup. That's bad.
And then I like the two pilots like like waving as they jump off, like "fuck y'all."
Oh, dude, I will say. Speaking of that,
that they have done this, the jumping out of a plane on a raft in MythBusters, and you die.
Like, of course. But that was a great shot.
Which one?
Them jumping out. Them using the raft to jump out. That was like really
cool.
well done because it looks like they actually did it. Like they made it look like they really did it.
There is, and like that's one of the things watching
it going, huh?
Watching it, I noticed like several different. There's the they did that thing where in order to make the shot look good and the sequence look good, they did.
Like mini
a bunch of different
things.
Well, they did a bunch of different techniques.
Yeah,
like there's green screen, there's stunt people, there's first person cam, there's distance with like dummies in it. Like they did everything. Yeah, they shot it in all the different ways you could, and then put it all together. Yeah, and that makes it where your mind can't really necessarily nitpick the one thing. Like if it was all CG, you're just like, well, this is all just fake. Yeah, but like it keeps tricking yourself, so it's staying one step ahead of you. It's like good editing, basically.
It was really good editing.
Yeah,
because it looked like that hoe was blowing up as they were going down, or like.
And I love it jumps up and the plane hits down. It's timing is great.
It was really well done. I mean, again, like. Watching it as an adult and then getting the hindsight and seeing, seeing the flaws in it like is one thing. I understand. I was kind of
one of those things that
robbed myself of a childhood experience.
But it's one of those things that shows the caliber of directing and what Spielberg is capable of is taking something as bananas as them jumping out on a raft and you don't care.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like you're like, yeah, this is fine.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, going back to her screaming and everything during that whole gag, it actually, I started like tuning out and like I think I was eating something and I just was like listening to it instead, because it was a long bit. It felt like a really long bit. It actually made kind of a interesting sound collage though. So I'll give them. I think they might have accidentally created a very good art sound collage piece,
like a good composition of sound.
Absolutely, yeah. So that's just, you never know what kind of mediums you cross into while you're working with one or the other.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That was just I really am not joking. I really thought it made a great sound collage piece.
I wasn't. That's why I wasn't laughing.
Yeah. So.
I was laughing real hard with the fucking elephant that wouldn't leave her alone this time. I don't know. Whatever it was about Kate Capshaw's performance this time, I was like, I get it.
Yeah.
This is like, it was more.
Well, she was great.
Yeah. And like,
for what she was given, she breathed life into a one-dimensional character.
I finally watched it from a place of enjoying it rather than like being like, fuck this character.
Yeah.
And like, how annoying is this character? I was finally just like watching especially just her like reacting to the elephant's trunk so much. Like, you can tell like she was getting annoyed.
Yeah. Right. Right. And then, of course, the one time she throws it off is a snake. And why did it have to be snakes?
This is the only time
you had to bring that one back.
This is the only movie in which Harrison or Indiana Jones doesn't touch a snake.
The only one?
Yeah.
Well, spoilers, dude. I haven't seen the third or the fourth.
Well, I'm pretty sure you're going to see the third one soon.
Okay. We'll see about that one, dude. I did write down about the Lao Che part. I said, nice try, Lao Che is the most hilarious shit I've heard in a movie. Just because it was so ham-fisted in there, and it was just really funny. But it was, I don't know, it was good. I enjoy it. Even if I criticize, I can find
and there's a lot of that kind of stuff, and the iconic shots. I know that my wife hates it when they do a repeat of a line, and he does that in this with the fortune and glory.
Yeah.
Fortune and glory.
Yeah. Oh, and the way that it fucking went so epic with it.
Yeah, and it's so like that's the genre that they're trying to do. Those old serials, like very comic strip, not comic book.
Yeah.
Written style of things, or old TV or radio drama style of dialogue, and those are the things that they hit perfectly. For that.
Yeah.
So
no, totally. What's the thing that he said? I think they were on the plane still, and Indy and her Willie were going back and forth.
Oh, when she says, "You haven't been able to take your eyes off me," this whole time, and he goes, "Oh yeah," and then he covers his eyes.
Okay, so
fucking cool,
dude.
So baller.
This was my note about that. My note was, and that's why dudes wear hats. It gives us all the opportunities to say smooth shit and do smooth shit like that. It's not a fashion accessory.
No.
It has a fucking use, and it's to be fucking cool
and that
as
is
shit.
that is also why every man loves fucking Indiana Jones. Like, Indiana Jones is so goddamn cool.
He's cool.
He's just so
Indy's cool. He's cool, dude. That's Harry Ford, baby. He's cool.
He does it, man. He does it.
I call him Indiana cool. I don't know, just because,
All right.
But yeah, that's why dudes wear the hats, man, so that they can do fucking cool shit like that. But then, of course, the dudes that do wear fedoras never fucking do cool shit like that ever. As a matter of fact,
and if they try,
they're lucky to even be in a room with a woman most of the time.
Well, even if you like, we were kind of talking about this before we started. Like, there's a lot of things and ways that Indy, when he's talking to Willie, it's very dismissive a lot of times.
Oh, dude, totally.
And
he calls her sweetheart. I think it's a Guinness Book of World Records for the number of times he called a woman doll or sweetheart.
And I don't think it has the same effect as like somebody doing that in real life. Because like, when somebody does that in real life, they are a fucking dick most of the time.
Sure.
But like with Indiana Jones, you're like, that's the guy who did it once that somebody saw it and was like, that's cool, I'm doing that.
Right.
Like,
But
he's
then they
the
got
exception
it all wrong.
that proves,
Yeah.
like, it's just,
They didn't have like the cadence
Jones,
down,
man.
and they tried it anyway.
And you're not Harrison
They
Ford.
ended up getting slapped.
You know, like it's just
Yeah, right. There's only one Harrison Ford, you know, like you just said.
Yeah.
So let's
So
go
now
back into them saying that this is dark indie, or it was almost too dark for them. I kind of liked that.
Yeah, I love it.
But see, this goes into my argument about, like, I don't need the kid around. Like, making indie go bad, that was tight, dude.
Yeah.
Bad indie, like, evil indie. What is that like? And you
dude,
get a
the
little
fucking
window
scene,
into it.
The fucking scene after he...
You could have
first
had
of all,
mostly
the
that.
scene when he drinks
Dude,
the blood...
What if most of the movie was him as a bad guy and him, like, slapping kids around and shit? Like, doing real evil shit.
Wouldn't have as much of a plot.
And then he gets good at the end. Like, that would have been, like, interesting.
But
Because it's like, this is my hero. What am I watching? Oh, but then he gets saved.
Well,
and then he fucking cures it all, which is what he ends up doing. But I think that there should have been more of that. But apparently they thought it was already so dark, it was their least favorite thing that they ever did in their lives.
Well, I guess part of the reason they think it's so dark is that, you know, I mean, from a actual lighting perspective, is pretty dark. Like, most of it is reds and, you know,
but it looks
subterranean
awesome,
fire. Oh, it looks badass.
It looks great. Yeah.
And, you know, all of those giant, like, I'll use the term set piece for actual set pieces and for, like, events in the film that are done underground with the, like, the giant skulls and the that cage that they put people in that lowers them down with the chains that come out of the hands and, like, the shots up into, like, it's fucking so cool.
Yeah.
And, you know, again, I talked about when I was a kid, I loved, you know, characters doing things that had to, like, put on, like, get ready. You know, in Indiana Jones 1, he's always got his satchel and his hip, you know, his holster on his hip. And he's got his whip and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Also, something I was obsessed with, hidden passageways. I mean, I was just boners for, like, old houses. Like, every time I went to a new house, I was like, what if there's, like, a hidden passageway? I've always been very bummed that most places I've ever been, there's not a lot of hidden passageways.
It's something that I guess went out of style after the 30s. You know?
But, like, this movie was all this crazy hidden passageway and, like, the booby trap thing and...
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I was, like, totally... In fact, I don't know, have you ever seen the movie Clue? With
no,
that's one
with
that
Tim Curry.
Yeah, and that's one that, like, gets a lot of people
we got to do it.
Polarized. I think we should.
Gotta be on the list.
I fucking loved that movie when I was a kid.
Yeah,
because of hidden passageways.
Yeah,
because I've tried to watch it again, and I'm like, this movie's kind of shitty.
Yeah,
but I would like to see if you like that movie.
Okay,
we'll have to put that on the list.
That one would be fun because of all the alternate endings too.
Yeah,
right? Okay.
And there's a whole. It'll just be a fun movie to do.
Sure.
But anyway, yeah, so, like, the hidden passageways in this are so cool. I love especially when I was a kid, the fucking gross banquet scene.
Oh, yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, had to put that in there.
Yeah. Well, and, like, so the way that's
a
scene,
must.
the way that scene came about was that they had to get all this fucking exposition about the thuggy cult. Yeah. And, you know, all this shit. And it's just real dry, but it's important. You got to know what's going on. And they originally wrote it where they were going to be talking about it while they were doing a tiger hunt. And Spielberg was like, I don't want to fucking shoot in India that long to shoot this whole scene as a tiger hunt. He's like, it costs too much. It's just, I don't want to do it. Yeah. So, so they came up with the idea of having this elaborate feast with all the gross, you know, the snake surprise. What's the surprise? It's a bunch of fucking eels come out or whatever. It's, like, so gross.
Yeah, I think I even wrote a fucking note about snake surprise.
Yeah,
I wrote that one down.
And like the guy eating the beetle and
right.
Yeah, just everything. You
gotta have the gross out.
The soup having eyes in it. It's just all way over the top and unnecessary.
Right.
But and, like, I don't think I ever have paid attention to the words in that scene until this time.
Really?
I always, like, I don't ever remember, like, I only remember thuggy like the term thuggy coming up because Tanner and I, my brother, we played the Lego Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
And like when you're picking all your characters, it tells you their names.
Yeah.
And the guys that were dressed like the guys in this were called Thuggy
Thuggies.
Warriors or whatever.
Yeah.
So like that's where I heard the term thuggy. And then when I was watching it, I was like, God, they say it a lot.
Yeah.
But I was never paying attention because I was like, gross, there's snakes on the table.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's interesting you say that because I realized by the end of this movie that I didn't really need to pay attention to the plot at all.
again, probably why it was one of my favorite as a kid.
I mean, yeah.
The plot is very obvious.
But then, like
He needs
that
to get a
does not-
stone.
that a great movie does not make, or however you say that.
But it's
It's
yeah.
not necessarily a good thing.
But it is in this, I think.
But it's not a bad thing. It's just pop. It's sugar.
I mean, this is definitely not the best Indiana Jones. However, because Kingdom of the Crystal Skull came out, it's also not the worst.
Oh,
So
was it the worst before Kingdom of the Crystal
yeah,
Skull?
oh yeah.
Do most people agree
to say
with
that, yes, oh yeah,
Oh, okay.
definitely.
Interesting.
And to say that feels bad because this is a fun movie. This is a great movie. I think it is exactly what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
There's so much cool shit in it. I mean, we haven't even talked about all of it, but like, just the scene I was mentioned before, like the part where he's drinking the blood and gets
Yeah.
tortured, like that's a great scene.
Yeah.
And then that scene where he's laying around all the candles and like turning and like becoming
Dude,
poisoned by
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Fucking
yeah.
give him the Oscar. That right
Yeah.
there.
I think
It's
I even
Harrison
wrote
Ford.
that down, dude. I think I wrote that down. Oh, never mind. Oh,
And
yeah.
make Harrison Ford act in any scene where he's having a fight. I love it. I love his
Yeah.
when he's fighting that guy
He
in
does-
the
he makes a
bedroom and he's
good
like being
face.
choked, like stretching for
Yeah.
things. He makes the best faces.
Makes great faces.
Yeah.
He does good fight faces.
And he's always been one of those guys that I wonder, like, if you break it down, him and maybe Bruce Willis or something, who out of all the actors in all their roles, who has spent the most time on screen reaching for something that's just out of reach, like being held back
probably
by
him.
something,
It might be him.
or Bruce Willis maybe. I feel like with like the
But
Die
Harrison's
Hards
been
and
doing
stuff.
a lot longer.
Yeah, I think it might be Harrison Ford. I mean, he does it a lot. I feel like he probably does it a lot with Han Solo.
Well, Luke
And no, he
did
does it with
it
this.
in Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, but everything was within his reach because he had the Force.
He had to use the Force.
I don't think we can hear you.
He had to use the
Yeah.
Force.
So, yeah, there. What else did you want to talk about this? Oh, what about that heart, pulling the heart out?
Oh yeah. That
I mean,
was
there's
surprising.
a lot of dark and violent stuff in this.
It was
and,
surprising to see that.
I mean, his hand goes in
yeah,
that
it goes
guy.
in there, and then he pulls out the beating heart, which is
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
So I kind of liked it because I was like, whoa, they went all out.
And that's one of the things. This movie was rated PG. And one of the reasons is this and Gremlins are two movies that are directly responsible for the
PG-13.
the PG-13 rating coming
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
because it's not really R, but it's pretty rough.
Right. For
For-
some parts, yeah.
Yeah, especially like the heart, and then
Yeah.
like the lowering the guy down, screaming and
Yeah.
wriggling as he gets
Yeah.
caught on fire, and then the heart and it's all
The
dark
heart
and
goes on
scary.
fire, yeah.
and like they're chanting. It's very
That shit was kind of tight, though.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. This movie is fucking tight.
Yeah. It's just, I guess, I don't know.
And
I
then-
want to see more of that. I don't want as much lighthearted. I don't know. I feel the same way with the Raiders of the Lost Ark. I watched it, and then by the end of it, I was like, well, that was an Indiana Jones movie, and I felt like I didn't really have to follow but there's just not much substance. You're just watching and experiencing something.
Yeah,
And it's
I mean,
fun
it's an
and
adventure
great,
movie.
but there's not really any substance. So I think that the little bit of darkness in this one with shit like that, where it kind of grabbed my attention when maybe I was floating out and felt like I didn't need to pay attention, things like that would happen and kind of pull me back in, and I would go, oh, okay. oh, they did that. I'm surprised. Yes, okay. That kind of thing. And so,
How about the little Maharaja with the voodoo doll?
yeah. So here's the thing about voodoo dolls.
How did they get one that was already dressed like Indiana Jones when he got there on accident?
Right.
That
well,
night.
I could see they see him because it wasn't until a little bit after he had gotten there that they made it, or was that all in the same day?
That was like all the same day because that was the first night. They were going to kill him that night.
Yeah. So here's the thing with voodoo dolls: just rip their head off. Rip their head off.
At the time when they were actually trying to
what
kill
are you doing?
him.
Yeah, what are you doing?
When he was fighting that big
messing
guy,
around, just putting needles in his back. Like you want him to die? Just
now that big guy that he fought, that is Pat Roach, who is the same actor that Indiana Jones fought in Raiders of the Lost Ark on with the guy that was real big that he fought around the plane and he got his face all chopped up.
Yeah,
that's the same actor.
Wait, from what? Sorry, I was thinking of something.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, the first Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah, they got his face fucked up.
Yeah, that was the same one that ended up getting from.
They ended up getting in the fire.
No, that ended up getting on that he was fighting when the kid was stabbing him with the thing, and they were on the rock crusher thing, and he gets caught by his scarf, and then he gets smushed. That's the same guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, their idea was that Indiana Jones was always going to fight this guy he can't beat, who was always going to be played by him, and something would happen that Indiana Jones' his way out of it.
Does he make his? Does he make an appearance in the third one?
It mostly got cut.
Spoilers, dude.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
It mostly got cut, and then by the time they made Crystal Skull, unfortunately,
he was dead.
Yeah, Pat Roach had passed away.
That was a trick question. The correct answer to that was no. You'll see. All right, because come on, dude.
Yeah,
I haven't
maybe.
seen it yet. I don't know. I don't know if I have much more to say about this movie. I mean, it was fine and it was fun, and then I hated some parts of it and I liked other parts.
Yeah.
And we're an hour in,
Yeah, so God, I love this movie. I was going to tell you there's a couple of things that kind of got cut or that were or various
give me some backstory.
Various ideas that got thrown around.
Okay.
George Lucas had at one point in his early ideas for this movie, he wanted to have a Lost World pastiche. Like Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's The Lost World.
Yeah.
Where he found a hidden valley inhabited by dinosaurs. There was always talks of aliens with Lucas, which that comes along later. So that got talked out. Chris Columbus, the writer of Gremlins
and Home Alone.
Yeah. He wrote a script for this movie where Indiana traveled to Africa and dueled a monkey prince, but it was rejected because it had too many negative African stereotypes.
Yeah, right off the bat.
Yeah.
Monkey prince, dude. What?
So, and then George Lucas also wrote a treatment that included a haunted castle in Scotland. But that got scrapped real early because Spielberg was like, nah, it's too similar to Poltergeist. Even though I didn't direct Poltergeist.
Right. Yeah.
So,
I noticed that about how he said it out Poltergeist his Poltergeist.
Yeah.
It's like,
he's like, you didn't do that when I thought.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck you, I did.
Right.
And then how about that scene on the bridge?
Oh, that's
fucking cool.
Awesome. That was tight. Yeah, I mean, that was just cool. They backed him into a corner where there was no fucking way out, and the only way out was to go full on indie.
Full indies it.
And it worked out. And then it still took forever for that fucking guy to just fall.
I know.
Like this fucking guy just won't fall.
Now, what's crazy is that was filmed in 3 different places. So they had the bridge.
Okay, the cut to with the B-roll of the alligators.
Yeah.
A little cheap. It kind of went Ed Wood territory there.
I loved it. I love seeing the little alligators flip.
I know, but it's just, that's why, it's the same way I felt about the B-roll of the sharks in Jaws.
Yeah.
It's like,
all of that was,
it up a
all of
bit.
the alligator stuff was filmed in Florida.
Right, of course.
Yeah. The bridge itself was in Sri Lanka, and then the scenes like of after the
did they rebuild that bridge?
I don't know if it was real. They built that bridge.
Oh, they built it in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
Why didn't they just do it on a set? Oh, whatever.
Because it looked like they had
better
to shoot.
in it.
Now the part where they were hanging, the part where they were hanging,
set.
That was a set.
Yeah.
built in England.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but yeah, and so like one of the coolest parts about that is when he chops the bridge and it falls, like all that dust leaves the invisible bridge there for that second. So like they
Yeah.
covered it all in sand so that when it happened that you would still see
it was a real shot of a.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Isn't that cool?
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's like doing like a real life cartoon almost.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like
Which is,
when they run real fast and the
And they-
image
then they
of
fall,
them is
yeah.
left behind. Yeah.
oh yeah, they're just their dust cloud
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
So anyway,
It's fun.
yeah, that's basically all. I mean, did you have any other notes that you wanted to hit on this one?
No, I think I gave it my all, Chaz.
All right. Well, here we go. Numbers.
This is a big one.
Estimated budget is.
Wait. We got to do the sound in for the
Oh.
numbers. Introduce it.
It's time for the numbers.
Give me your number. Give me that number, girl. Give me your number. Give me that number, girl. What's your domestic? What's your weekend? What's your worldwide number, girl?
All right.
That's it.
So the budget was 28 million.
Okay.
What was the opening weekend, May 27th, 1984?
All right. So this 84 is a little bit of a different time, but Jaws has already happened, which, as we know, is credited as the beginning of the summer blockbuster.
Yeah, so they were planning on this being a summer blockbuster.
So, but then again, and Star Wars has already happened, which blew that whole thing wide open.
And the first Indiana Jones has already happened.
As well.
4 years prior. That was
But we
80.
are talking
Or no,
80s money.
82.
We're talking 80s prices. And therefore, it's going to be a little bit lower than maybe it would be today. I'm going to say...
Now, this is just the weekend. Opening weekend.
Opening weekend was 40 million.
No, 25.
What the fuck? It didn't even
25
make its money back opening
25.3.
weekend? This is
Yeah.
a bomb.
Got close. Now, what was the domestic gross?
Okay. Domestic gross. Now we're talking we've had enough time to get the big numbers. I'm going to say 40 million. No, 140 million.
Not bad.
Okay.
179.8.
Wow.
So you're pretty far off. Add those two together.
Big time. Yeah, add those two together. I did it.
Yeah. 179.8. Now, worldwide, mind you, this is the only Indiana Jones movie to have been banned in a country, and it was banned in India. Yeah.
I wonder why.
Yeah. They were not pleased.
Right.
And a lot of it, they wouldn't even let him shoot in India because they wanted them to take out the word Maharaja, and they wouldn't do it.
Also, I wonder why. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say that it was 250 million.
No, way under.
Way under.
Well, not way, but you're
310 million.
333 million.
Okay.
107,000.
Okay.
So.
All right.
I need to get your rating on this, but I think we're gonna pass on the recast because we are going to be doing this one.
We can wait.
We've already done one,
yeah.
and we're gonna do the third one pretty soon.
I'm down with that.
some other guests,
I'm down
so
with
I hate
that.
to like blow our load early.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm down
So,
with that.
and like the only person we'd really be casting is Indy.
Right.
So,
hey, how about we recast Short Round?
yeah.
No.
That kid, the actor who played Short Round, he got the part. He did not even come to audition. He was actually there with his brother. And
his brother probably hated him for the rest
Yeah.
of his life, dude.
Ki Hu Kwan.
I think that is gotta be a sibling rivalry for the ages right
Yeah.
there.
Well, and he went on to be the Asian kid in all the movies from the 80s. He was in Goonies.
He was?
Yeah.
Oh, well, see,
He was in-
we haven't done Goonies.
Oh, you've
or
never seen
Lost
Goonies.
Boys.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are we got a lot of big 80s ones that
Yeah. So, but
That
yeah,
need to be done.
Goonies was his other big movie. It was this and Goonies.
Okay.
but he went with his brother, and Spielberg or somebody overheard him telling his brother how to do the part, and they thought that was so funny that they were like, "You come in here and read," and he just improvised.
Was he his little brother or his older brother?
Little brother.
Oh,
and he improvised the scene with. He got to improvise with Harrison Ford playing cards.
Did the big brother end up, getting addicted to drugs when he grew up and then killing himself?
I don't know, but he got the part, and he got the
God.
part out of a casting call of 6,000 kids.
Oh Jesus, what a nightmare!
Yeah, so
Oh,
that's Hollywood, baby.
I'd be calling in sick that day if I knew I had to cast a kid in a fucking Spielberg movie, and you had 6,000.
Which is like 6,000 stage moms too.
Oh my
boy.
God!
Oh.
It probably wouldn't be that bad. Yeah. Okay, so you want to do the rating?
Yeah, let's do the rating.
Okay. Oh wait, I'm getting a call first though. Hold on.
God damn it! No, you're not.
But it was a big hit, Chase. Have you seen the comments
No.
since last week or whenever
No.
the episode came out? It's just comments of please more guy on the phone gag. Please more guy on the phone gag. We love guy on the phone bit. That's all the people want, Chase. What are you looking at? You look like you just found something interesting.
Oh, I got an email from a professor.
Oh, you're mixing business and pleasure over
I didn't
here,
mean
you son
to.
of a bitch?
I got my
All right,
email,
we gotta
but that's
stop
where my
recording.
notes are.
We
My
gotta-
notes are
hold on,
in my
we gotta
email.
talk
I
off the
email them
mic
to
on this one.
myself.
Gotta talk off the mic on this one. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna stop recording.
Might I say though,
Chase, you
one
fucking
one prop that I've always wanted is one of those fucking stones. Like, wouldn't that be cool?
Well,
That's
that
a
was
cool
weird. If they could make it light up and glowy, and then also seem not translucent at all when it's not lit up and glowy,
Well,
like
I mean,
they do
they're
in the
different
movie.
props. Yeah.
Like they do in the movie.
No, I mean, I want like a screen used, like a bunch.
Oh,
of,
you want the?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like I've always wished that I could have like screen used props,
Sure,
but like
I'm
that
sure
would
there's
be
a way
one
you
of
can.
them. Yeah, that would be
eBay.
one of them.
You can do eBay.
Yeah.
You could hit up Harrison Ford and be like, "Can I have the whip?"
Harrison Ford doesn't have any of that shit.
I thought
To
there was a story that
quote,
he
he's
took
been
the hat.
asked. He's been asked, like, did you keep anything from like Han Solo or or Indiana Jones? He goes, why would I want any of that shit?
Oh wait, no. Did he say it like this?
Why would I want any of that shit? Yeah, that's exactly how he says it. Real badass.
Real badass.
God, he's so badass.
Oh man.
Come on, Chaz.
All right, rating. We just skipped over our off the camera bit.
Yeah.
Or off the mic bit. I mean.
Out of 10?
All right, so we're gonna give the rating out of 10. References to your other movies. In a
there's
movie.
a lot. Oh yeah, that's the other thing that we
Yeah.
didn't even touch on
Uh-huh.
is not only the Obi-Wan, but Lucas and Spielberg love to use sound effects from other movies. You know, we talked about like in Jaws when they blew up the shark. He used the same sound to mix into that sound effect that he did from the movie Duel. In this, there are first of all, there's a lot of and they had,
God, that's loud. They
Yeah.
had both of those?
yeah, they're shorter though. There's definitely a lot of
Well, yeah, they speed them up.
yeah, but I know. In fact, I
didn't even notice they used
I think it
both
was
of those.
when Indy throws the skewered like roasted chickens in that first scene and it hits the guy. It's a Wilhelm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
but there's also like when the doors open over the lava pit, you hear like Darth Vader's lightsaber. Yeah, it's the same sound.
Oh, wow.
There's just a lot of that kind of stuff.
Oh, man. I didn't catch it.
all buried in there.
Oh. Wouldn't that be funny if every time Willie screamed, they used the Wilhelm scream?
Yeah.
You know? Like they might as well just done that if they wanted.
Maybe that's why they named her that.
Actually,
that's probably
you might
why.
not be wrong.
Yeah, because they knew that her
Oh.
character was going to be screaming.
Right? I mean,
Yeah, that
it's
makes
plausible at least.
Yeah.
And certainly possible.
Anyway,
Probable,
so out of
I don't
10,
know. Out of 10 references to your own movies, out of 10 references to other movies, out of 10 sound bites from other movies, which were all
Classic moment, dude.
by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. I give it 7.5.
7.5. Do you remember what you gave Raiders?
I don't. I was trying to think. I think I gave Raiders an 8, which then when
that was first season, wasn't it, or first?
Yeah, first year. So
it might have been. It might have actually been. I think we recorded it.
Beginning of second year.
Yeah, it was. It was the first episode of
the second year.
The second year. So I don't know where you put it on the.
Well, not the second year of us doing the podcast, but no, it was the beginning of the new year.
Yeah,
in which the new calendar year during our
first year. Yeah. So it was on last
January.
Yeah,
or something. I don't know. Anyway, our loyal listeners, you can comment and let me know what I rated it if you remember. I can't wait to see those comments.
Fly
on in, and I think I gave it about the same. I think it was either a 7 or an 8. I think I gave it an 8 because it is.
I just don't remember.
It is classic. I give this one a 7.5.
And I was trying to remember where it fell out of those 50 or 40 movies or whatever.
It was like somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
That's probably where this one will end up.
7.5. All right. Well, the last but not least. Worth it? Worth it?
Or...
Oh, I thought you were going to hit the button.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Or worst shit. You should really only hit it once. When you hit it more than once, it's too noisy. It gets too dirty.
It doesn't sound like a fart anymore, but that's why I kind of like it. It's playing with the soundscape. Like
something's wrong.
It's playing with the soundscape.
All right,
also,
Ross.
It sounds like you got a lot of bubbles going on in those guts, and maybe
fucking Ross with his sounds.
Yeah. Wait, Ross has a sounds thing? Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's right, with the keyboard. That shit was fucking funny. And guess what? Fucking that song is a banger, dude. I'm telling you. The fucking underrated, man. It's fucking out next level genius shit. You don't really understand if you were a true artist.
Which is part of the joke in that.
Yeah,
Phoebe
exactly.
Was obsessed.
Yeah. But it is actually kind of tight. But anyway, I am on the edge on this one, man. I don't know, because here's the thing. It's like what I said before. If by the end of it, I felt like I got the entire gist of it, and I felt like I also didn't even really need to pay attention to it, can I say that it's worth watching to somebody? Or could I just be like, nah, you don't need to watch it. Watch. Indiana Jones gets possessed. He jumps over some ledges. He chops the bridge down.
It's
he
not
does
about
Indiana Jones shit.
Yeah,
that's
but
it.
it's not
and
about.
Then they'd be like, okay, thank you. You saved 2 hours of my life.
But
so I might have to just give it a.
First of all, you are like so many startups on Shark Tank. You over-evaluate yourself and your value. Your time, your 2 hours of time is definitely not worth as much as you think it is with some of these movies.
What? Dude.
What are you going to do with those 2 hours?
Anyway, live.
But
do anything else.
But also, it's not about the story.
It's about the interesting.
Is. But what else would you be doing with it?
Fucking anything other than that. Watching something that I actually enjoy. How about that?
But it's still expanding your horizons, watching something else.
I mean, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. But all I'm saying is, if I'm treating their time, a person, that's the whole point of this segment, is a person walks up to me and goes, hey, man, is this thing worth my time? Which has, uh-oh.
Did we die?
And we're back.
All right, we're back.
Sorry about that. Inadvertent break.
Audio listener, nothing happened.
Yes.
Video listener, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens there.
Yeah, so...
Well, anyway, the point of the segment is, a person comes up to me and says, is this worth my time to watch, which my time is valuable. The person is saying that,
okay.
Right? So I'm treating it, if I'm going to be responsible and care about their time, which I also view as incredibly valuable.
But I just don't understand
we only have so many minutes.
Yeah.
Will I say to this person, yes,
well, if
it is worth 2 hours of your time to watch this movie? Or would I just be like, let me save you 2 hours where you can go do anything else that you'll actually like doing, because you only have so many minutes left on this earth. And this is what Indy does, and then boom, now go do the rest of your life.
But like, it's not about the story. It's about the experience,
right? But
of watching it. So I just
don't know if I can really. I'm just saying, Chase. I don't know if I can say that it's worth it. This one, the first one, yes, go watch it. because it's the first fucking Indiana Jones movie. Go watch it. Yes, go watch it. But does anyone really need to watch Temple of Doom? I don't know. I don't know about that.
All right.
I don't know about that.
Well, there you have it. All right. Well, I guess that brings us to the end of the episode.
Okay.
That was fast.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
not. I mean, no, that was
and,
fast.
Hour and 20.
Turning it back on and turning it back off. All right. Well, until next week, we say, Nom in space.